Hey you guys! So what I thought that I would do is just start by showing you this new way that I'm trying to do the quizzes. I mean, to do the content that we went over after numerous feedback from students. So let me show you. Where before, after you log in, you'd go to content, and then after you go to content, you'd click on your exercise like Intro to Theater and Cultural Diversity, and then it would take a second to load it, and after you took a second to load it, it may take a minute to actually grade it, okay? This is a one time where it didn't take a second to grade it. And then you have this weird thing that says 1/4, and I had a lot of questions about what that means. And then people would do this work, and they'd be like, well, I don't know what my grade is, I'm not sure if I'm done with my worksheet, and then they do go through all of it, and they're like, well, I've obviously selected all the answers that I thought was right, and why isn't it giving me a grade? It's not giving you a grade because, you didn't get the questions all right. So what I'm doing now is I've switched to something that I think is going to be a little bit better. So now I put the overview and content, I put how to access it, and I put when to complete the exercises and quizzes, but I thought I'd also do a little video for you. So what you do is, instead of going to content like you would normally, what you'll do instead is click on quizzes. Now, if you notice, it looks a little bit different. For A, B, ignore this part. But then for C, for D, now this is in order of the chapter and when I would like you to do this stuff. Also, if you notice the top here, the people who watch, levels of participation, freedom of speech, you can kind of help guide yourself in the book about where those questions might be. So let's look at one at random. Let's look at Day in the Life 2. So I'm going to preview this just so you can see what it looks like. Okay. So then here's essentially what you're going to see. If you notice, we got 3 questions. I'm trying to narrow it down to just a few questions for each assignment, so that way you can easily check and you can leave and come back to it whenever you want. It makes it a little easier. So match the theater tech vocab with what it does. Stage door, I don't know, I'm just going to guess here. 1, 2, see 1, I'm saying stage door is curtains on the side of the stage. I'm saying green room is curtains on the top of the stage. We know this is incorrect. And I'm going to save it. Now, let's look at the next one. Match the theater tech vocab with what it does. Okay? So let's see here. Call is when the actors need to show up for the night. That's 1. House is where the audience sits. Prop table is where each prop is laid out and labeled. And prop check is when the actors confirm that all of their props are where they need to be. And then finally, the cyclorama is a giant curtain put on the back wall to make the stage seem a lot bigger than it is. Light can be projected onto it. Okay, so now that one's correct. And I don't know. 2, 3, 4. Done. So now I'm going to save all my responses. So that's saved, just in case anything happens. And I'm going to go to submit my quiz. Yeah, submit it. Now let's take a look at what happened. Now it gives me my username, tells me when I attempted it, and what's better is it goes through the questions. It says the questions listed, 1 and 3, are the ones that I got wrong. Okay? Also, it tells me the answers that I put in there. Now, it doesn't tell you which answers are correct and which ones are incorrect. What it does, it just tells you what you answered, so you can kind of help narrow that down and guide your research. And at the bottom here, it says I got a 41%. Okay? Now what I can do is I can go back to submissions, I can try it again, I can view my previous submissions, and I can take this as many times as I want, and it only takes the highest score. Okay? If you have any questions about this, please email me. You, of course, have the normal date until next Saturday. Now, I've gotten some emails of people with some personal issues, and so if you notice, quiz in Chapter 2 and 3 is still there. You have until this weekend to finish it, so please take advantage of it and do that if you want to get a grade for it. This is the only time I'm going to do this, but I just wanted to, show some flexibility here. Okay, so we have these assignments, and you also have the Chapter 4 and 5 quiz. The 4 and 5 quiz is the exact same thing as before. It's got some questions on it, free response, and multiple choice. And then on top of that, it gives you 2 attempts to submit it. If you have any questions, just let me know. You know my email address. It is on the course home file. As always, I respond quicker to one of these emails as opposed to if you send me an email through the course. Okay, hope you have fun, and let me know if you need any help.